And a lot of times with women is they don't think they're ready. They feel like they have to be perfect and the expert in whatever before they start, whereas men just start doing.
Welcome to our world renowned podcast, Invest in Her. I'm your host, Catherine Gray. I'm a TEDx and keynote speaker and author. Also, I'm executive producer of the movie Show Her the Money. Plus, founder of She Angel Investors and co founder of the She Angels Foundation. Our weekly show features interviews with powerhouse women founders, funders, and change makers that are sure to inspire you. Let's go. Welcome to this week's edition of Invest in Her. I'm your host, Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. And today, as you know, on Invest in Her, every week we have an incredible women, and today is no different. I'm so excited to have on Sarah Lerner-Mantel. She is the managing director of Roll Tack Ventures out of the Midwest, and we're going to talk about how they invest in Series A and B in B2B technologies and what that means. All right, let's welcome to the show, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hey, Catherine, thanks so much for having me today.
Yeah, you bet. Well, I understand you and I met some time ago at one of our Show Her the Money screenings back in Cincinnati, which is where you're based, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
based in the Midwest,
Yeah.
split our time between Cincinnati and Indianapolis.
Oh, love that. And, the thing about getting to meet people at the Show Her the Money screenings is I know we're all big fans of why are women being underfunded and how can we change that? And one of the ways we can change that is by what I call the unsung heroes like yourself that are starting these women founded venture funds that are focused on funding women and others. And it's so important that we have people like you at the table deciding who gets the funding. So, first of all, bravo for what you're doing.
Thank you so much. It's really important, I believe, too, in the pattern recognition. And everyone has a different history and understanding and kind of experience that they bring to the table. And a lot of that kind of is seen through how you diligence companies. So it's important that more women are leading these firms and a part of those investment committees.
Absolutely. So, Roll Tack Ventures, let's talk a little bit about that. And then I want to visit your background because it's so
Yeah,
amazing,
sure.
very interesting. But Roll Tack, I think my first question, because I'm always like so curious, how did you all
Yeah.
come up with the name Roll Tack?
It's a sailing maneuver. It's something that you do when racing, when you're sailing. It's not just a standard tack, but it's a tack where you almost capsize. Like you go so far to one side and then you flip and you accelerate against the wind. And we think that's a really beautiful metaphor for startups and pivoting across adversity.
I love that because that's exactly what entrepreneurship is
Hmm.
like, right? Especially when looking for
Exactly.
funding. Um, and so you all invest in Series A and B. Let's talk about what that
Hmm.
is because you're investing in B2B technologies. And, listeners always want to know, well, what are they investing in and what does that mean? So let's explain what Series A and
Sure.
B is and what type of technologies you all invest in.
Yeah, so starting with Series A and B, it's really at the point of repeatable selling motion. So you're selling in the B2B world, let's call it a dozen customers. You're selling the same product for the same price for the same reason. So it's that you've moved beyond founder magic. Now you have a process in place that's working with every customer, and you can start to build out that team to really scale your selling motion. So the point that we invest is really the capital is infusing that repeatable selling motion to really grow exponentially at that stage. What we look for in Series B is more that repeatable selling motion is becoming more efficient. It costs less money to do that same process, and you're seeing that increasing returns to scale.
So, in other words, how much money do they have to be generating in order to fall into that Series A or B funding? Because it's got to be pretty significant, right?
Yeah, that number's kind of shifted over time in terms of venture. I would say it's a $1 to $10 million of annual reoccurring revenue at that stage. Typically, the sweet spot is more 2 to 3 million, but you need enough traction to really diligence how your customers are loving the product and whether you truly found that product market fit.
Love that. And how big is the fund right now? And are you still raising?
Yeah, I mean, you're always raising.
Yeah.
But the fund is $50 million. And we, through the fund, will have 15 to 20 companies in portfolio. And our check size is 1 to 5 million. So average 2.5 million.
That's very significant. And that's very exciting for you to be in that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And how many partners are in this fund?
So me and the other general partner is Tyler Mantel, who also happens to be my husband. And we have an operating partner, Mickey Swartzel, who's based out of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
So you are out there raising 50 million. I take it you're still taking investors.
Hmm.
Yes.
And we just closed a $10 million commitment from the state of Indiana.
Fantastic. So obviously to raise 50 million, you have to have some institutional funding. So that's
Hmm.
amazing. And are you deploying the capital yet?
We're not yet deploying out of the fund, but we've been active in market through deal by deal investing. And we've been doing that for the past 2 years. We actually just kicked off the fund in January for the formal fundraise, but we've been operating on an SPV model following the same thesis, same check size to keep active, define our pipeline, and really fine tune the thesis that we believe and validate it through the investments we've made and the ability to win allocation and support the companies post investment.
And you're really focused on technology companies in the Midwest?
They don't have to be based in the Midwest. So the thesis that really started this is there's a statistic that a quarter of US GDP is in the Midwest, but only 3% of venture capital funding. So that's obviously an underserved market in terms of the companies that are based there. But what really intrigued us were the quarter of US GDP. I mean, that's substantial. There's really large companies, legacy businesses and industries that are the Midwest, and we are focused on solutions that are serving those customers and focused on their problem spaces and technologies that enable them to drive growth, boost efficiency, and reduce risk.
Can you give me an example of what kind of company that you would invest in that you're looking for?
Sure. The most recent investment was a physical security platform. So they're helping you understand your threat posture, which is something you see in the cybersecurity space, but for physical assets. So for companies that have distributed locations and really complex operations, they're able to, in one platform, understand where your threat is at any given time, which changes day to day. There could be a hurricane coming, or you could have layoffs or a riot happening. So, threat is always changing, and it helps you understand the compliance of your different assets. It helps you understand where gaps in your security system are.
Oh, that's so interesting. I think I know another company doing that that might be of interest. So, is it kind of
Yeah.
like a cybersecurity, like preventative situation? So it's
Yep.
attacking it before it happens instead of
But
after.
this is on the physical space, not the cybersecurity digital space.
Oh, on the physical space. Okay,
Hmm. Yep.
very
And
cool.
from hearing from a lot of their customers, historically, they've been using Excel spreadsheets or hundreds of different tools that have niche applications. And this is a way to really digitize it, aggregate it, and have that real time point of view.
I love that. I love that. And what type of people have started that company? Is this men, women? Is there a diversity there?
Yeah, in this example, it's a male founding team, and they're based out of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Gotcha. And so, and your fund does invest in women and BIPOC and LGBTQ as well?
Anything, we just
Yeah.
make the best investments that fit into the thesis and have no kind of um, carve out specifically, but
Yeah. Right.
we look at all founders. And because of my partner and I being male and female, we have that different perspective and different aperture
Yes.
of understanding and how we diligence. We have very different
Yeah.
backgrounds of where we came from in our career as well.
I love that. It's really nice to see a dual gender run fund. I
Hmm.
do think they tend to be the most successful because of what you just said. They bring both perspectives to the table. So I think
Yeah.
that's great. I think good things ahead for Roll Tack Ventures.
Thanks so
Um,
much.
so you do B2B technologies, and your background is really interesting.
Hmm.
So you help scale product at Wayfair's platform of 33 million SKU numbers in the
A
marketplace.
zillion things home. They have
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah. So what did you do? How did you help them scale that? What was your job with them?
Yeah, so my job was several things. And actually, it was a created job. I started as an intern right out of college or during college. And the way they were thinking about merchandising was really siloed. It was everything. You were the category owner of end tables or dining spaces or kitchen. And no one was really thinking across the catalog. So my role when I came in was helping them at first think about upsell. So when you go to buy the end table, what else might you be buying? And how do you package that? And for my full-time role, really push them to think about how we think about these cross-catalog concepts. So I came in to scale operational efficiency in ways that they were storing data across the catalog. And that was everything from data accuracy of the product content to the supplier experience of how you onboard products. If a supplier has an hour to make improvements, where's the most efficient use of time to really improve their catalog and business? So, really thinking about those cross catalog um, data operational accuracy, efficiency, and scale.
And so you use that same knowledge to help others scale today, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
understanding of websites, e commerce, back end data structures, how to leverage data science, all of those things have been really valuable.
You know, that's what I love about venture funds. People often ask me about why they should invest in venture funds. And I think, you know what, if you got really smart people at the top running it, they are
Hmm.
literally going to be a resource for the people they're investing in. So I gather you're investing in B2B technologies that you can literally help scale because that's your background and your expertise. So I think
Yeah.
that's really
And
cool.
I came from the big corporate side and then also have had a startup as well. So I have that dual perspective of small, scrappy, and then also enterprise level scale.
I love that, and perfect segue to the fact that I wanted to bring up that you were a founder yourself in the med tech,
Mhm.
uh, sector. Um, that you worked on it from inception to acquisition, and that this product is actually featured in the Smithsonian Design Museum. And I'm so curious what product that is. Yeah, I want you to tell us about
Yeah,
it.
it was a ventilator during COVID. There was definitely a need in the beginning of kind of lack of ventilators in the market. And of course, my engineering husband believed how hard can it be to build a ventilator? So we ended up building a team of about 200 people over the course of 2 years
Wow.
and fully redesigned the ventilator. I mean, it's an industry that's always been kind of the major players in the space, and ventilators are huge and expensive, and they spend most of the time in a closet. So we redesigned a ventilator to have some of the key elements and features, but be small and stackable and affordable. So it was a $5,000 price point. And we went through the full FDA process and ended up selling it to a subsidiary of Smith& and Nephew out of the
Bravo.
UK.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you.
Yeah, so you and him make a great team.
We do. We
Yeah,
have very different backgrounds and very different competencies that balance each other well. We love working
that's
together.
cool. How did you and your husband meet?
We met on a dating app in Boston when he was leading his first startup.
Cool. Well, isn't it great that you both have those abilities to be visionaries, and then, like you said, each bring something different to the table? Um, what would you like people to know about Roll Tack Ventures and why they would want to, be a part of that as an LP or as a founder getting funding?
Yeah, appreciate it. I think one of the differentiators with Roll Tack, not just we don't have this geographic fence of you have to be building a business in the Midwest, but we're really looking at the fence as a core problem space. And why that's valuable is our deep connections within the region. We're advisors to the Governor's Office of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, so we have close ties with state. We have a lot of really deep connections to the companies, both mid market and enterprise, across the region. And that both helps us diligence, it helps us understand problem spaces, and it also helps us introduce customers post investment, which is honestly one of the biggest value adds that I've seen through our winning allocation. Is what founders really need isn't just the capital, and everyone says that they have the advice and the mentorship, but it's really unlocking the doors to customers, which grows their business and brings in more revenue. So um, we're really thoughtful and boutique in how we support startups and make sure that every check we write isn't just because we believe in the technology, but it's because we believe we have a value add that we could provide. And there's a few key gaps in the company that we think that our network or our expertise could benefit from.
I love that. See, I think this is the way women think, and it's so important to have women at the decision making table at these venture funds. We don't have nearly
Yeah,
enough, so I really applaud you. I did a TED talk called Fund Women Save the World, and it was talking about
love
the
that.
reason women are only getting 2% is there's not enough women at the table deciding who gets the money because people tend to invest in people they identify with. And so it's
Hmm.
great that your fund, Roll Tack, has a woman at the table giving her perspective of who you all should be investing in. And it does give a different perspective than, say, your husband, who's your partner, right? And so
Yeah,
I think that makes a really valuable combination for your particular fund to have both genders at the
thank
table
you.
deciding who gets the funding and a reason that people would want to get behind you. Um,
And a lot of times with women is they don't think they're ready. They feel like they have to be perfect and the expert in whatever before they start, whereas men just start doing.
yeah.
So we've been really methodical in the mentors we've built and the relationships we've built to give us the confidence and the expertise and help lean in areas we might not yet be experts in. And we've really built out a strong, call it board of directors or mentors around us that really have given us the confidence and the knowledge to start and build a fund, which is hard, but worth it.
Yes. And I know I met you through Sue and Marcia there at the Startup Cincy, which is also a great
Hmm.
event
Yeah.
that takes place there. And they're both involved in our Show Her the Money film. For those that haven't seen Show Her the Money film, it is on Amazon and Apple now. But we also take it around the country and show it to groups like yours there at the Startup Cincy. And I think you'll agree, the film really perpetuates the idea of first alerting people how little funding women get and how important it is to the future of the world that we do get behind women's innovations as well as men's, because that's going to impact everyone, right? And
Hmm.
so I just love that you have this fund that you're out there looking for the best innovation. Not that it has to be a man or a woman, but that it's just the best innovation out there, no matter who has created it. But it's great that you're
Yeah.
having that dual gender lens on it. I think it gives your fund a real leg up.
Thank you. And one of the things I think your movie does really well is create more on ramps and make it more approachable and accessible to get into angel investing and start dabble with that asset class. One of the things our fund does with college students is this program called Anchor and Accelerate, which we start 5 weeks into university and have them do a pitch competition. But ideas are really hard. You might not join a pitch competition because you don't think you have an idea yet. So instead, we take that concept away and we give them white labeled cases of seed stage companies and just have them learn how to pitch and have them understand what a business model might look like at that stage and what venture scalable funding requires. It's not always the best use of capital for various business types. So we try to lower the barrier to entry, have them learn this pitching and what questions might look like. So as they go through college, this influences the clubs they join, the friends they have, the classes they take, and they have this in the back of their mind. So when the problem space comes that might bring an idea, they're a little more prepared and ready.
I love that you're doing that. And it's so funny that you bring this up because we just rolled out a VC 101 college
Yeah,
program that we're putting in
love that.
universities and colleges to teach young women and all students about venture capital as a career path, as a funding path,
Hmm.
and as an investment path. And so we think if we can teach people at the college level, this will be a big game changer for the next generation because they didn't used to talk about it. And there are entrepreneurial
No,
schools out there, but often they don't address venture
they
capital.
don't teach the venture side.
I
No.
know. I
And
know.
even the founders, I think there's a ton of benefit to understanding how venture capital works. I mean, Tyler, my partner, when he was raising in his first company, there was so many things that he now understands now that he sits on the other side of the table that weren't necessarily explained to it's almost like a black box. And as you
It is.
start to understand that venture is a financial product for the LPs, and as you understand thesis of funds, it's not necessarily a no because they don't like your company, it's a no because you don't fit the product that they've created. And really understanding some of those components help unlock the ability to raise better and smarter.
100%. And basically, with the film, we've also just wanted to humanize venture capital.
Hmm.
This is about real people, real founders with real innovations that need to be made for a real impact on the world that affects everyone. And so everyone
Totally.
should want to care about venture capital where the things are that's where a lot of wealth is built. So you want to be building your wealth and making an impact on the world with these new innovations and ideas that are the future. And don't we all want to
Hmm.
say so in that? And venture capital is a great way to have a say so in that. And also realizing it's not that big barrier to entry to invest in venture capital. Some people put their IRS money into it. What is the minimum investment you take in your Roll Tack Ventures?
Our fund minimum check size is 250,000.
Okay, so yours is a little bit on the higher side, but still,
But
it's not.
typically, institutional capital is, but
Yes,
angel investing is a great way to get in on the floor because check
yes,
sizes are much lower. And you're
yes.
investing in an earlier stage and betting on the founder themselves versus our stage is a little more mature. So oftentimes people join funds because they don't get access at this stage.
Yes.
It's typically more for institutional capital.
Right. So there are smaller funds that do allow, 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, like I was
Yeah.
saying, but even 2250, a lot of people out there are in a position. There's the largest transfer of wealth in history for women,
Hmm.
and they need to be aware of this asset class that they could put in 250, 500, a million, and part of their portfolio into this alternative asset class that helps shape the future, helps make an impact, and builds their wealth,
Definitely.
usually tremendously more opportunity than there would be in the stock market or bonds or where they've already seen all the profits. So just like making
And
you
the 250
aware.
isn't right up front. Like when you write an angel check, that check is right away to the company. But when you're a part of a fund, there's capital calls over
Yes,
the life of the fund.
right.
So if you think about that 250,000, you divide it by the number of companies in the portfolio, and that's essentially the angel check that you're writing for each company, and you're committing it over the life of the fund.
That is a real golden nugget there. Love it. Thank you for
Hmm.
sharing that. Well, we're going to end on that note and let people know how they can reach you at Roll Tack Ventures. Is the website best?
Sure.
LinkedIn? Give us some ideas.
The website's best to understand our thesis, rolltackventures.com. And then reach out to us on LinkedIn is the best way to set up time to chat. And if you want to pitch, reach out to us either directly, Sarah Lerner-Mantel or Tyler Mantel, or you could reach out to our company page, Roll Tack Ventures.
Fantastic. All right. Well, so listeners, you can reach out to Sarah Mantel on LinkedIn or check out their Roll Tack Ventures Is it .com? .com.
.com. Yep.
Great. Of course, you can find us at She Angel Investors, also at showherthemoneymovie.com. If you haven't seen our movie yet, all the information is there. You can book it for your groups. You can also see our book there that is all the people involved in making our film and their amazing stories, all in that book. And by the way, famous actress Sharon Gless does our audio version. So Show Her the Money Movie. .com and Show Her the Money book is on Amazon. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being such an amazing guest. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We hope you make it a great week.